Hi, Greg here. We're going to be reviewing a few pieces of equipment for you. This review is for people like me who are on a budget and want to have really good tone, but just don't have the thousands of dollars to throw at it. If you're like me and you do get any money that you can afford to spend, you're buying a good guitar. You don't have the money to throw on expensive amplification. And I mean, for great tone, you can spend $2,000 to $3,000 on an amplifier, especially if you're looking at like Marshall, which is my preferred sound. I really dig the Marshall tone. You're looking at over $1,000 for the amplifier alone, and then another $600 to $900 for a cabinet, depending on which cabinet you go with. I can't afford that. I can't afford a pack of cigarettes half the time. I found a way that you can get the Marshall tone, and I mean, I'm not talking about a close second. I'm talking about right there, for a fraction of the cost. We're talking about $500, $550 cash outlay if we go used to end up with something that sounds really good. What we're going to talk about today is, first we'll start off with the Bugera 1990 classic all-tube 120 watt amplifier. It has the same controls as the JCM 900. It's a Class A amplifier. It has an on-off switch. It has standby. It has a master lead, volume and reverb control, master clean, volume and reverb control, an EQ section consisting of presence, treble, mid, and bass, and then we have lead channel gain and clean channel gain. I'm running today for this review, I'm running the master lead channel volume and master clean channel volume both at just below 3 on the knobs. That's also where I'm running the reverb on both channels. The equalizer, I'm running the presence right up the middle on 5. I'm running the treble on 4. I got it knocked back just a little bit. I'm running the mid on 5, right up the middle, and I'm boosting the bass. I'm running the bass at 8 on the knob. Now the gain on the lead channel goes from 0 to 22, and I've got it at 8. It'll put out a lot more than what you're about to hear. And on the clean, it goes from 0 to 11. I'm also running the clean at 8. Now, on the back side of the amp, you've got 2 switches. One of them is a impedance matching switch. You can run any of the standard speaker cabinet resistances. You can run 4, 8, and 16 ohms. You just set the switch to whatever your cabinet is, 4, 8, or 16 ohms, and it matches the amp to the cabinet. If you don't do this, you're going to damage the amplifier. Secondly, the other switch is pentode or triode mode. Triode mode is half power, 60 watts, and it's a little more melodic than pentode mode. Pentode mode is full power, 120 watts, and it is sick. In pentode mode, you turn this thing up, you're going to hurt your eardrums. This thing, I can't stress this enough, this amp is wake the dead loud. It's very loud. I like it. When I got the amp, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not. I tried it out and it sounded okay. I could hear that Marshall British kind of tone coming out of it, but I didn't have the right cab to put it on. It came with this thing, which is a Marshall 412. It's a MG412A, the lowest of the Marshall cabinet line. It's made to be used with MG series solid state amplifiers. It comes with some Celestion really cheap 30 watt speakers. It sounds okay, but the speakers can't handle a tube amp. It's certainly not a high gain tube amp like the 1990. So I ripped them out of there and I put some Rocket 50s in it, and I almost went Oldsmobile on you there. Rocket 50s and three Rocket 50s and a G12T Hot 100. The Hot 100 is a Marshall Goldback. It's branded Marshall, but the part number on it is a Celestion part number, and it says that it's a G12T Hot 100 speaker, which is an awesome speaker. They came in the Marshall valve state cabinets. I put that in one of the bottom corners just to give it a little extra beef, because I'm a bass player. I like a lot of bass, and that speaker has got a lot of bass response. So I popped it down there. The other three are the G12E-50s, or the Rocket 50s, the Celestion Rocket 50s. And I've heard good and bad about these speakers. I've heard some people say, yeah, they're all right, they're not bad. And I've heard a lot of people, there seems to be a lot of experts on the internet that just want to diss the speaker and talk about, oh, get a creamback or get a vintage 30 or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, we're on a budget. $50 a speaker versus $150 a speaker. Which way are you going to go? You're going to go with your best value for your dollar, because you don't have a lot of dollars. So the creambacks and the vintage series Celestions are out. They cost too much money. We can't afford them. So we look at something that's cheaper, and the Rocket 50 is Celestion's lowest cost speaker. But that's by no means to say that it's a bad speaker. Now, I did notice, and I think a lot of the people that reviewed the speakers put their review on it immediately after it was installed in the cabinet. Guess what? No speaker sounds great as soon as you install it in the cabinet, because it's stiff from the factory. It needs to be worked out. The cone needs to be loosened up so that it can articulate. It can move back and forth. When it comes from the factory, it's a little stiff. You have to break it in, and the way you break it in is by playing through it. I've seen other ways of hooking a battery up to it and letting it hum for 24 hours and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. Just play through it. Play clean. So that you got that really wide bandwidth of sounds that are fluctuating up and down. Play a lot of open chords and play a lot of low chunk through the clean channel at some volume, and that's going to get that cone moving back and forth, and it's going to loosen up all of that factory stuff, and that's how you break in the speaker. Once the speaker's broke in, it sounds pretty decent. It's got a pretty good full range response, highs, mids, and lows. It's all there, and it's got the British tone to it. I have to say, I'm pretty happy with the Rocket 50. It's not a bad speaker at all for the price. You're actually getting good value. You load, like I said, I've got three of them in here, and I've got the G12T Hot 100. You can load all four of them in there, that's fine. The cabinet's going to sound great. This cabinet, the MG412A, is going to sound infinitely better as soon as you pull those speakers out of it and put the Rockets in it, or whatever you like. You can go with Eminence, you can go with Jensen's and stuff. I prefer that British tone, so I want to stay with the Celestion speakers. I like that British tone. I've grown up with that British tone. I grew up with British metal and British hard rock, and I love the bite that the Brits put in their amplification and the voicing that they give this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna demo the amp and the cab with my 2002 Gibson SG Standard. It's all stock. 490R pickup in the neck and a 498T pickup in the bridge. All stock stuff from the factory. We're going to start off on the clean channel, and I'm going to start off on the neck pickup just so you can get an idea of the warmth that these speakers will generate. That sound nice? Okay, that's not a lot of gain on the bridge pickup here. Let's go down to or the neck pickup. Let's go down to the bridge pickup. Okay, so you can tell that there's a good range of frequency response there. You've got all of it nice and clear, nice and clean. Now let's go to the lead channel. You know, of course, if you're buying Marshall-esque type stuff, you want gain. This amp has a ton of it. Like I said, I'm running the lead channel gain at 8. It goes to 22. Barely into the gain section. And, well, here you go. We'll play a little Black Sabbath. As you can see, plenty of chunk. That's on the bridge pickup. Now let's run through some leads on the neck pickup. You can see the warmth again from the amp and with these speakers. Plenty of dirt, lots of clarity. You can hear all the notes. Really not a bad sounding setup. Like I said, $550 if you go with used cabinet, used amplifier. Throw some of your own tubes in it, and if it doesn't come with good tubes already, and spend some money on some low-end Celestion speakers, and you have got one heck of a good sounding rig that'll get really friggin' loud. Anyway, I hope this review helped you out. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear what you think of the amplifier. I want to hear what you think of the speaker section. I want to hear what you got to say about different cabinets, different combos. You know, what's your go-to amplifier on a budget? You know, what works for you? What kind of music do you like to play, and what kind of amplifier do you like to play it through? Go ahead and chime in. I want to hear your thoughts. Y'all have a good day, and God bless.